Maybe 6.
All right, another new circle lesson. Today's is not too bad. Tomorrow's is really hard. Tomorrow's is probably the hardest out of all the circle stuff. Today's isn't too bad. Today we're focusing on angles. Remember, your test is May 5th. Test is May 5th, so you guys will be gone that day, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I could have you either take it early or you can, take it early. Okay, so today we're going to talk about special angles and circles. So if the angle is on the inside of the circle, these are called secants because they go all the way through the circle. These two secants, when they cross, they do not have to cross in the center of the circle. They can cross anywhere in the circle. So just know that they can anywhere in the circle. So what you do is you take the two arcs in between these two secants, this arc and this arc, you add them together and then divide by 2. That's how you get this inside angle. Okay? So if the angle's on the inside, you just add those two arcs together and divide by 2. If the angle is on the outside, like this, if the angle's on the outside, you take these two arcs and subtract them and divide by 2. Always do the bigger arc minus the littler arc so we don't get a negative. So if the angle's on the inside, we add. If the angle's on the outside, we subtract. Okay? Let's try. Let's try a couple. And then after these first two, all the other examples that I'm going to do are on your assignment. Okay, so the angle's on the inside. Would I add or subtract? Add. So if it's on the inside, I think of this like a plus sign. Add. So 90 plus 46 and divide by 2. So 90 plus 46, hit enter first before you divide by 2. So 68. I know that you're going to have some problems, like this angle right here is 68. These two would be 68 because they're vertical. What if I had to find an angle down here? Do you remember what these two add up to? 180. Okay. So you will have some problems where you have to find the other angle. Okay. So if the angle's on the inside, you add. If the angle's on the outside, you subtract. 110 minus 30, and then divide by 2. What is it? 45? 110 minus 30. Close. Divide by 2. 40. Yeah. 40. How do you guys feel about that? Okay. Okay, so all these other problems will be on your assignment.
Can you unlock this assignment?
Not yet. I don't think it's going to take that long to do the assignment. So the angle's on the inside. Would I add or subtract? Add. So 50 plus 56 and then divide by 2. So 106 divided by 2? 53. This is one of those where I have to find the other angle. So I'm going to add these two and divide by 2. So 48 plus 38 and divide by 2. 48 plus 38 divide by 2 is 43. This angle right here is 43. How would I get angle 2? 180 minus 43. So 180 minus 43 is 137. How do you guys feel on that so far? This is just thrown in. It's a review from Friday? Maybe Wednesday? I don't remember. This is just an inscribed angle. And the inscribed angle, what do you have to do to get the inscribed angle? Do you guys remember? Just divide by 2. So 198 divided by 2 is 99. So you'll have a couple like that. These two, the angle is on the outside, so you have to subtract. So I've got to subtract this arc minus this arc. What would I do to figure out this arc?
360.
Yes. all the degrees as 360, so 360 minus 100, 72 and 140, minus 100, minus 72, minus 140, I think, 48. Now that I know those two arcs, I can subtract them and divide by 2. 72 minus 48, divide by 2. 72 minus 48, divide by 2, 12. So that angle is 12. This one, I need to find this arc. So this one's set up a little bit differently. I don't know if you want to write this down. So I know this angle, and I know that angle would equal the subtraction of those two arcs divided by 2. So I don't know this arc right here, so that's why I just called it x. What would I do to solve that? Multiply by 2, good. So 30 equals 59 minus x, minus 59. What's 30 minus 59?
Negative 29.
So negative 29 equals negative x. What would positive x be?
29.
29. Questions? Okay. So if the angle's on the inside, add. If the angle's on the outside, subtract. There's 2 more problems, and they're kind of challenging, and you're probably definitely going to want to write these down. These 2 are on your assignment. The angle's on the outside, so I don't have to subtract. But the problem is I don't know this arc or this arc. So I call the smaller arc x. Say, let's just pretend like the smaller arc was like 100. How would I figure out this arc? 360 minus 100, right? So since I don't know this arc, I'm going to say this arc is 360 minus x. Okay? So this arc I'm going to call x. This arc is 360 minus x because I don't know either arc. So when I set it up, I know that this outside angle will equal this arc minus this arc, 360 minus x, divided by 2. So I did big arc minus the little arc divided by 2, and that's going to equal that angle. What do I do now to solve that? How would I get rid of this 2 right here? Multiply. So 68 equals 360 minus, since I have 2 x's, I'm just going to combine those, minus 2x. So minus 360 on both sides. 68 minus 360 is negative 292. Equals negative 2x, and then what do we do? That's a lot of algebra, isn't it? What would x equal? Divide by 2, 146.
X equals 146.
146. Okay, so that's one of them like that. That's probably your hardest, I think, today. 146 for that one. So this one, I always just call the smaller angle x, and then, or the smaller arc x. What would I call this great big arc? 360 minus x. Now this time, I'm going to have to find the great big arc. So once I figure x out, I'm going to have to do 360 minus that. So I start with the angle. 84 equals big arc minus little arc, 360 minus x, big arc minus little arc, and then I have to divide that by 2. So what would I do first? Multiply by 2. So 84 times 2, 168, equals 360 minus x and x, which makes 2x, You guys good so far? Minus 360. 168 minus 360.
292.
Thank you. 290.
192.
192. So negative 192 equals negative 2x. Divide by negative 2. 96. So x is 96. That means this arc right here is 96. How would I get the great big arc? 360 minus 96. 360 minus 96. 264 will be the answer to that one. And both of these are on your assignment.
21 and 22.
Oh, did it unlock already?
Yeah.
Okay. So what numbers are they?
21 and 22.
21 and 22. Okay. All right. Let's see. So my little joke says, Henrietta provides us with I can't even talk. Henrietta provides us with eggs, and when she stops laying eggs, we'll eat her. And she's at the grocery store getting eggs. All right. So your assignment is unlocked. What happened? It disappeared. Okay, so I thought this joke was I think it's kind of funny. That's the wrong shelf. Because this is the whole milk shelf, but it's half and half. It doesn't have, 2 halves make a whole? Anyway. Okay, so if the angle's on the inside, what do? Add. So 50 plus 56 and then divide by 2. Don't forget the dividing by 2 part. Let's see. Remember on those ones, so like on number 3, when I add 56 and 146 and then divide by 2, I'm going to get this angle. What do these 2 angles add up to? 180. So 180 minus that angle. So I tried to separate it and do the adding first. Don't forget, if it's an inscribed angle, you just take half of that arc. How would I find that arc in question 5?
360 minus
134, good. And then just divide by 2. So the inscribed angle is half. So then I have inscribed angles. Then I have problems where the angle's on the outside. The angles on the outside subtract the arcs and divide by 2. All right, if you need, I should probably do the word problem, huh?
Yeah.
Should I?
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody likes word problems. So in a game of kickball, Ricky has to kick the ball through a semicircle goal to score. If XZ is 58, so that would be 58, and XY is 122, find the angle he has to kick the ball. So that angle's on the outside. So would I add or subtract? Subtract 122 minus 58 and divide by 2. That's how you'll get that answer. So subtract the arcs and divide by 2 since the angle's on the outside. Question 19 is another one of those where you're going to have x and 360 minus x. And then question 20 will also be that way, where you're going to have x and 360 minus x. So 19 and 20 are going to be just like 21 and 22. Okay. If you guys have questions, just let me know.